Have you ever felt that you are not good enough, smart enough, wise enough, or just not enough? Yes, we all do. Good day, brothers and sisters in Christ. Let me share with you my devotion for today from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. It says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." Moses was also someone who felt he wasn't good enough. When God spoke through a burning bush and called Moses to lead his people out of Egyptian bondage, he had a big case of the not good enoughs. Moses told God he was the wrong man for the job. He wasn't brave enough, strong enough, smart enough, eloquent enough, charismatic enough, or confident enough. At one point, Moses asked God, "Suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' Then what shall I tell them?" And God replied to Moses, "I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. 'I am has sent me to you.'" That's from Exodus 3:13 to 14. Moses was 80 years old when he argued with God, but even the weakest knees in the hands of "I am" can become a mighty force to be reckoned with. We all have likely struggled with feelings of inferiority, insecurity, and inadequacy. And the underlying statement feeding our sense of worthlessness is, "I'm not blank enough." We tend to fill in the blank with a number of false beliefs and qualities like, "I'm not strong enough," "I'm not experienced enough," "I'm not talented enough," "I'm not brave enough," or "I'm not pretty enough." But here's what we need to remember. Whatever positive characteristic we feel we are not, God is. Whatever we need, God is. He is the God who fills in our gaps. He is "I am" who fills in our blanks. So next time we say, "I'm not strong enough," God says, "I am." When we say, "I'm not smart enough," God says, "I am." When we say, "I'm not good enough," God says, "I am." Once we let go of the lies that we're not enough and learn to take hold of the truth that we're more than enough because of Jesus' presence and power in us, then we will be set free from paralyzing insecurity and on our way to experiencing courageous confidence to do everything He calls us to do. As for me, God spoke to me earlier when I was crying in prayer and confessing to Him that I feel not worthy yet of sharing His words to others. I have accepted the call for this devotion last week, but I am really so nervous about this. But after I wipe all my tears, I realize that He is teaching me something, and I believe that this is what God has called me to do today. With His power and grace, He led me to share this scripture to you. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." For our own reflection, let's ask ourselves, which areas of our life do we tell ourselves that we're not enough? What is God telling us about our true abilities through today's devotion? Let's remember that when we allow God to fill in our blanks, He turns what we perceive as our greatest weakness into our greatest strength. Because of His power in us, we are more than enough. May God help us to stop focusing on our self-perceived inadequacies and start focusing on our all-sufficient supply. Let me end with Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. "I can do all things through Him who strengthens me." To God be the glory. God bless everyone and have a great day ahead.